Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa. If you're new here, if you're not new here, I'm glad you're back with me. So today is going to be another garden update, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of an update with what's going on with my mom. So I hope you'll stay tuned to watch the update. So, for the first time in a long time, I can show you my back porch, and I have been working on that since the weather turned. And first, I wanted to make. Oh, that's a little bird. Little bird made a nest right in there. Not sure if you can see the eggs or not, but she made a nest right in there. So every time we come out here, it kind of spooks her. But anyway, I've tried to make this porch a place of peace, where we could come back here and relax. I have these flowers are store-bought. I bought them at Walmart and planted them in the little planters. I have tried to plant to make this back porch a place of beauty. Our greenhouse needs a little work. It's right now it's the place where I'm storing all my leftover garden stuff. It does have a little bit of plants in it that I was gonna send to my daughter, but anyway, and of course my mother's. I'm surprised that that thing has lived this long. The poinsettia from Christmas, but it has. So I just have this seating area here now. I have planted flowers everywhere. That I brought outside yesterday because the plant in it didn't make it, and so we have more flowers up there. I'm not sure what to do yet about our yard tools here, but the porch itself is looking pretty well. And then I was sad to say that my grill passed away. It is pretty much a goner. That is rust down in there. I'm not sure that it can be salvaged. I'm gonna try maybe, but it's expensive. So also I'm planned to do something with this storage shed. As you can see, it's not in very good shape. My idea is to tear it down and put up a new one, but that's something that has to be done in the future. It's definitely not right now. And the grass is greening up pretty well, so I'm going to start with the outside. So my garden this year was not planned at all, and so I planted more plants that I have room for. So I started on the outside, and there's some I planted some of those blue morning glories right there. I'm not sure how well it will do. It kind of turned yellow, so looks like it's got a transplant shock. But I put the yellow crookneck and the straight neck squash out here in the beds because the deer didn't seem to bother them when my neighbor planted them, so cross our fingers on that. But even they have a little bit of transplant shock going on, so we'll see how well that. And of course, every year my marigolds come up in there. It's you know, there's a few flowers in there. By the end of the summer it'll be full. This, I changed the dirt, and those are also marigolds. I love marigolds. All the pots up here are marigolds, but we got some, that looks like a morning glory right there. So we might have more morning glories than we do marigolds. So, and there's some morning glories right there as well. And you know, there's marigolds and morning glories in this one as well. So down here, I transplanted some chamomile. I'm not sure how well it will do. This is German chamomile here, I think. But I got my Azle and my German kind of mixed up, so we'll see what happens. Wiley, don't get in the dirt. And then this here is my zucchini. I love zucchini. They're doing pretty good down there. And then these are my calendulas. They're holding on so far, so I'm hopeful. So let's go in the garden. So I planted more calendula in here and more German chamomile in those pots. And over here, these are my banana peppers. And they have not done so well since I transplanted them, but I'm hopeful the warmer temperatures are going to help that. In here, I have a whole mix of stuff. I planted some cabbage and some kale. And some lettuce seeds. The lettuce seeds really didn't do that well. I have some broccoli growing on in here. I put a marigold in here too. I wanted the flowers to really invite the pollinators this year. So we'll see over here. This is arugula. Over here I have pintos. These are some celery right there. And of course, we got the strawberries doing well there. And over here, have one African daisy that I didn't kill. And then these are the beefsteak tomatoes. And then over here are the these are jalapeno peppers. I'm not sure how well they would do. And over there in the corner, I think that's, I think I planted another morning glory over there. And this over here, that right there is also a morning glory. What is doing absolutely fantastic and I'm so excited about is the radishes. I got wasabi radishes and regular radishes going in here, and they are doing absolutely fantastic. This, I thought this was onions, but this is actually, I'm pretty sure this is actually more garlic. And it's doing pretty well. I have potatoes planted in these 2 buckets. Here is the combination of, there's peas, and onions and garlic in this bed. They are all doing phenomenally well. And then in all these buckets right here, except one has the blackberries in it that I planted. And here's some more garlic. I'm pretty sure this is garlic because it has just got huge. And then I actually successfully growing carrots for the first time. I'm so excited. Beside it is some okra that I planted. I have some bell peppers in here. That's a bell pepper, I think, right there. Over here is some ground cherries and some beets. That's finally picking up steam. And over there, those are spaghetti squash. And so along this side of the arch is beans, garden beans that I planted. And on this side of the arch is the cucumbers that I planted. So, and I'm so excited. Let me back up so you can see the arch. And I have added garden arts to the arch, which is awesome. And I haven't yet put the dirt in here. I've just put the filler at the bottom. Somebody gave these buckets to me, and I'm so excited to have them. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in there. I have not, like I said, I did not do a good job of planting this year's garden. I just kind of come out here and plant stuff. And in this one is, this is the basil that lived, and some more chamomile. Of course, this is the only rosemary bush that lived. My other rosemary died, unfortunately. I have one little stevia plant growing there. Some sage that I bought at the store, and mixed in with those weeds is some oregano. We'll see if that lives. And over here, that right there is my blackberry bush that's doing pretty good. I thought I killed it, but it's doing fantastic. Anyway, I have just got things growing everywhere. It's the most crowded garden I've ever planted. We'll see what makes it and what doesn't. I figured out that I didn't keep very good notes because I have no idea when I planted this garlic and onions. So I have no idea when to harvest them or when to even attempt harvest. So I'm gonna have to get some video or watch some YouTube videos and find that out. So anyway, I'm still working on adding, but as you can see, without putting down the cardboard first, the weeds just pop through that gravel. So it was a well-intentioned idea that didn't work out very well. So this is my little urban garden. It's just so fantastic, so very fantastic. Okay, so my front is just a little bit messy. So my idea for this for the front of the house was really just to surround myself with much beauty. But I don't know how well this is going to be, because over here I planted some beautiful flowers. Our neighborhood deer came along and ate the flowers up, which is completely uncool that they ate the flowers up. I have not touched that bed over there yet. This bed though, I've planted some sunflowers that my dad planted. I saved the seeds from the sunflowers. But I also planted some forget-me-nots in here, and this one is a tribute. This bed is a tribute to my dad, which is why I planted the forget-me-nots in there. I also planted my last living Augustache. The seedlings didn't do too well in the buckets. I don't think it's doing too well transplanted. It may not make it, but that's okay. I got the forget-me-nots and the sunflowers in there, and hopefully they will do really well. In this bed is a combination of things as well. It's just a bunch of different flowers. I see that the deer have been here to visit the dianthus. It's supposedly poisonous to plants and animals, but I see that either the flowers died or the deer munched on them. I haven't decided which. But those are store-bought flowers. This other stuff that I planted in here was just very some weak seedlings. They are hanging on, but I don't know. One of them is a dwarf snapdragon, and it's doing well, but I also planted some what was left of my lavender. We'll see what happens with this mix. I really haven't done anything with this bed yet because it needs some more dirt. And I'm deeply concerned about that tree. But looky here at all of these. I think these are called cannas or something like that. I planted a couple extra ones in there that I think only one of the new ones came up. The other two that I planted have not come up yet. But they have the beautifulest flowers when they bloom. So I'm so glad that these made it through the winter and came back. That's the beauty of a perennial. I have not really done anything with this bed in the front either. I think there are a lot of volunteers in there. I just kind of let them grow, see what happens, but I don't really like these things right here. So let me tear that out. This, when it blooms, has the prettiest blue flowers. So I'm sure it's just a weed, but I'm letting it weed anyway. I'm okay with it. So I think this is a volunteer zinnia, because that's what was planted here last year. So we'll see what comes up. I'm kind of just letting it grow right now. Like I said, I don't really know what these are. But I was gonna let them grow and see what they look like when they get a little bigger. I don't know. So that's pretty much a tour of what I've got going right now as far as what's growing in my yard and in my garden. I'm doing my best to nurture it. In a few minutes, I'm going to take you down to the community garden and show you the beds down there, because I have some stuff planted down there as well, and I try to go check on it every day or every other day at the most. So what's coming up pretty soon, my mother's surgery is scheduled. Her surgery is scheduled for the 21st. Hopefully that will go off well, and she'll have a speedy recovery. So right now she's in some pain. We think the tumors are infecting her shoulder blades. So we're just ready for that to be done and over with. So anyway, that's all I have to report on that. My brother has stabilized. He's doing much better. As a result, I'm feeling much better. So things are calming down some, and we just have to get through the hurdle of my mom's surgery. So and that happens next week on the 21st. So yeah, send us some positive energy and prayers, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of the video. It's just going to be a tour of the community garden beds. And I thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day and many blessings to you. So I tried to film this segment before to show you what's growing in the community garden, but it's just been so incredibly windy. So today is not so bad, so I am hoping to give y'all a really good tour of the community garden beds. Alrighty, let's go see what's going on in the community garden. Lots of stuff growing now. They have some really nice beds started. queen bees. Got some beautiful marigolds out here, very lovely. And we have different people. This looks like potatoes to me, so they're doing really wonderful. Those folks' potato beds. I'm not sure what's growing in here. It looks like beets. But it's really cool. And here we are to my beds. And this is, this is not good. That my corn seed has fallen out of the ground. So this is gonna be my three sisters' bed. Or at least my attempt at a three sisters' bed. We'll see what happens. Some of these sprouts are doing exceptionally well. Some of them are struggling. Like this little guy in the middle is struggling. I've never actually been out here when they've had the water on, so I don't really know. So this right here is watermelon. And those watermelon transplants did real good, or doing real good. This right here looks like grass, but it's actually corn. So the idea behind a Three Sisters planting is that you plant your corn first, and then 2 weeks later you plant beans, and then you plant squash or something. So I've already got the watermelons planted, and the idea is that the squashes provide the mulch so it doesn't get as weedy, and then the corn provides the stalks for the green beans to grow on. So that's the theory behind a Three Sisters bed. It's an old method of planting, so I'm really hopeful. Although they supposedly turn the water on 3 times a day, but even with that little bit of rain that we got, these beds always seem dried out to me, always. So not so happy with that aspect of how dry they seem, but we've had such a windy time of it lately that it shouldn't surprise me that they are so dry. But even going down a little ways, they're more moist when you go down a little bit ways, but the top 2 inches are pretty dry. So here we have lettuce growing, and grass that appears to be grass, which is funny. Some of these lettuce seeds I transplanted up here, and some of them I planted from seeds, and they're finally growing. So this though is some really deep grass. I want those grass to grow in here. And this right here, this lettuce is lettuce that I planted from seeds. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. There are some beets growing in here that I planted from seeds. I was trying to give them an opportunity to get started. I don't know what. There is tons of these little things all over the place. I do not know what they are. But obviously, there's a lot of grass. And there is some carrots. This is carrot right here. This is a carrot. Ugh. Get rid of the grass. need to come down here with a trowel. So this right here is a cauliflower transplant. I don't know how well that's gonna do. Most of the things that I tried to transplant from home were in bad shape to begin with, and so when I transplanted them, they didn't do all that spectacular. But this bed is just amazing. Like I said, there's just like a million of these right here all over the place. And I don't know what they are, but they're all over the bed. So I'm gonna have to come down here pretty soon and weed this, because this right here is muskmelon. And over here, well, poor little sad broccoli. I think he's kind of toast. So I had no choice but to plant these out here because I didn't really have room for them. That's another broccoli. That one seems to be doing okay, and that broccoli is doing okay, and so is that one. But again, I don't know what. So you don't know what these are. I don't know what that is. It kind of looks like a tomato, but maybe not. So I don't know, but there's a lot of weeds growing in these beds, and I weeded them once already. But you know, they obviously need weeding in the worst way again. But this over here, what I plant, these are butternut squashes, and they're doing pretty good. I mean, the season is just starting up. We do have, looks like, some insect damage there, but you know, it's a garden. Wild things live here, you know, or insects can't help those. So this one is just a combination of, I planted my bell peppers, some ground cherries from home, but I also planted some cherry tomato seeds and some beefsteak transplants. Obviously some of them didn't make it. There was one right here that, poor thing, croaked. But that's okay. I think that's what this is too. It could be the cherry tomato sprout, but they didn't. Now this bed doesn't seem quite as dry as the other ones, but this is some squash plants of some kind. I decided just to let them grow. That's a beefsteak that I planted from home, I have some jalapenos. This little baby and this little baby I planted from home. My other jalapenos, I planted seeds in here. I just don't know how well they're gonna do, but I decided just to let these squashes go and see what they ended up as. They could maybe provide some mulch for. This is another beefsteak that I planted. I'm not sure what that is. But I'm just gonna let them go, because I think this was the other ground. I planted these two, I think. I'm not real sure. I planted some cucumber seeds in here, but you know, I don't know. This is only my 3rd year gardening, so learning to spot a legitimate seedling from a weed is, especially when they all look like this. Now I'm like, is that a weed, or is that a seedling, or is this something I need to dig up? Because they're all over the place out here in all of the beds, really. So I really don't know. But here you have it. My little slice of heaven in the community garden. I don't know that anything else has been planted out here. And I suppose it's really early in the season. Some of these beds are just appear to be idle. So for this one back here, and that one looks like it's got some lettuce growing in it. So anyway, if I had space this big, oh my gosh, wouldn't that just be amazing to have space this big? I could feed my family for a whole year in a space this big. It's a partial dream, but then, you know, as my children have grown up and gone their own way, and my grandchildren no longer need me quite as much, but needing a space this big, maybe not a requirement anymore, but the dream to do something big is there nonetheless. So I thank you so very much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I invite you to like and subscribe to the channel to help me grow. And I send you many blessings and have the best life possible. And thank you so much for watching.